You join me at the Sanjo Ohashi, which is the bridge that crosses the Kamogawa here in Kyoto. Sanjo Ohashi is the terminus of the Tokaido Road, which is the road that connected Kyoto and Tokyo before Tokyo was even called Tokyo, when it was called Edo. That road has been used by people in Japan for potentially thousands of years. But we're not actually going to do anything with the Tokaido today. We are headed towards Fushimi on the Osaka Kaido, or the Kyo Kaido, which was created in 1619 as an extension of the Tokaido. So we're off to go have some sake, but we're going to avoid the crowds and we're going to avoid the heat. It's 9 a.m. and it's already 31 degrees Celsius here in Kyoto. So we're going to try to stay in the shade, we're going to stay near the river, and hopefully we're going to get some good sake by the time we get there tonight. One of the things that I like about Kyoto is both the rivers that run through the city, but also kind of the mishmash of modern buildings architecture, but also kind of older style architecture. These things right here, actually for summer restaurants and things, because there's water that runs underneath all of them. There's actually a canal off of the Kamogawa, off of the Kamo River, that goes underneath all of those and will actually suck kind of the heat out of the air, keeping your clients, your patrons of your restaurants cool. It's been happening in Kyoto for a very, very long time. I think it has a history like 300, 400 years. It's very cool. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's the sound of Japanese summer. It's the cicadas and they're buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And like for me, I've been in Japan for quite some time, so I like it, but it definitely can make having a conversation a little bit hard if you're standing right underneath a tree where they're doing their thing. So we've walked all the way down to Gion Shijo Station. You may have noticed if you speak Japanese that we've gone from Sanjo to Shijo. In Kyoto, various districts are actually numbered because the layout of Kyoto is based on the square capital layout of ancient China. But yeah, we're going to continue on our walk. We might start actually going a little bit into the city, but before that we'll probably stick along the river for a little bit more. Alrighty, so we're off the river now and we're actually at the Yamato Ojidori, which is the main road. It's what is the Osaka Kaido, the Kyu Kaido, but it runs north to south from Sanjo, going down all the way to Fushimi Inari. But we're actually going to skip that a little bit and we're going to go over to Kenninji, which is a large temple complex that's just off the side of the road. So let's go check that out. So these lines on this wall actually represent historically the prestige of the temple. So the number of lines relates to basically the number of different subjects that the temple was teaching the various practitioners and lay people that were coming to the temple. Because for a very long time, especially before the Edo period, temples did not just teach religion, they also taught things like architecture and math and reading and learning. There was actually a whole school system called the Terracotta system. And so based on these lines, you could kind of tell what level the temple was. Was it a university level temple or was it just like an elementary school level temple? Something to know? A little fun fact. You'll often see temples and shrines in Japan. This is a shrine next to each other because for a very, very long time, the traditional Shinto belief and Buddhism were kind of syncretically thought to be one and the same. It was all kind of just, these are the deities, this is the religion, here is all of the different ways of belief. We've been moving away from kind of the Gion touristy aspects and into more neighborhoods and roads that were used mostly just by normal people and travelers rather than kind of the tourist-focused areas that it's become. One of the fun things about vending machines in Japan, you have a lot of vending machines. Most of the vending machines that sell non-alcoholic beverages are set up, one, to make money for the landowner, but also for, in case of emergency, there's access to fresh drinking liquids, even if it's not just water. But then also you sometimes have sake vending machines, alcohol vending machines. And these are usually in front of sake shops and usually just to sell beer. But as you can see, we have at least one sake, a little 1 cup ozeki that you can get any time of the day or night. So we've made it to the Higashiyama post office, which is actually our sign that we're going to need to take a right and head a little bit closer towards the Horikawa River again to get onto Fushimi Dori, which is right where we're headed. So let's head out. So you'll know that you've reached the right road when you look over there and you see sake written in Japanese in that big red lettering. But that's not related actually to this road, it's just a very convenient sake shop. So we're well into our walk now, and we've been walking maybe like an hour, hour and a half or so, but we finally arrived at one of the stops that I wanted to stop at, which is Ueno Saketen. Ueno Saketen's been around since the Meiji period, which is from 1868 to 1912, I think. But they started in the early Meiji period, and they've been selling sake in Kyoto along this part of the Osaka Kaido, the Kyoto Kaido, which is called actually the Fushimi Kaido. So we're on our way to Fushimi. We're almost to Fushimi Inari, but even after Fushimi Inari, we have quite a ways to go. So they do tastings, and they also have a bunch of pretty rare sake that you can only get there. Check it out. We've made it to Tofukuji. We're kind of walking along the Keihan line actually as we're going down south towards Fushimi, but that just is because the Keihan line is kind of built underneath these old roads that were originally used for people walking. We're going to skip Tofukuji just like we're going to skip Fushimi Inari. So you find me here at the Fushimi Kaido Daiyon Bashi, the 4th bridge of the Fushimi Kaido, and really there's a lot of bridges. And the reason there's a lot of bridges is because Fushimi sits in kind of a basin. Kyoto as a city sits in a basin. There's mountains that kind of surround the city and mean that it's really hot. We've gotten up to about 36 degrees now. It's after midday, 1, 2 p.m. And it's very hot, very humid, but that also means that there is a lot of water that concentrates in the city. And Fushimi sake is all about that water. Now this water is not the water that is used to brew the sake, it's surface water. A lot of the water that they use comes actually bubbling up out of the ground from wells that we'll see later. But it's still kind of a reminder that water is the reason that the Fushimi sake industry actually came into being. So we've made it to Fushimi Inari. This is the entrance to the famous shrine, and we are not going there at all. It's not part of our trip. If you want to look at that, you can watch 100, 1,000, a million different YouTube videos about Fushimi Inari. We are going to continue our way down to the sake breweries of Fushimi. So let's get on to it. Whoo boy, it is super hot. It is like 36 degrees Celsius. And I am a little bit tuckered out, and we are running a little bit late for what you are about to see, which is going to be quite cool. So we are going to take the use of some transportation options and get down there, and we'll finish up the walk after that, or maybe tomorrow morning. Let's get out of here. So I'm sitting here by the side of the canal. These are the Jikokubune. They would have been originally pushed along and would have taken sake and rice up from Fushimi into the capital of Kyoto. But they were really the quick easy delivery boats. The actual boats that were used on the canal were called Sanju Kokubune. Jikokubune, Sanju Kokubune, they're both a little bit hard to say, but basically it's the Jikokubune are the 10 koku boats, where the Sanju Kokubune are the 30 koku boats. Koku is a unit of measurement. It's basically kind of like a bushel. It's the amount of rice that a person was reasonably considered to be able to eat in a year. And sake and rice are both measured in koku, even today. Well, we made it to Fushimi. We rode the Jikokubune, and we're going to be spending the night here. Tomorrow we're going to go around to the various springs that make Fushimi Sake so special. But tonight we're going to have some Fushimi Sake, and we're going to relax and hopefully cool off, because it has been a hot, sweaty day. We have arrived at the final stop on our journey today at Fushimi Sake Village, which is a 8-restaurant and sake bar combination shop where you can sit down and order things from various restaurants that are kind of arranged like a little restaurant, a little food stall, and you can order sake, and you can try sake from all 18 of Fushimi's sake breweries here, and I'm pretty excited to do that and kind of relax after this long day of walking in the heat. So let's go inside. Alrighty, got my 18 sake. I've got some snacks that it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but I've got some snacks. I'll be eating them. I've got my 18 sake. Sake number 1 is Kitagawa Honke Tomio Premier Amor Junmai. We're going to start on these guys, and if I finish all 18 of them, I get some sort of certificate completion. It's been a long day. I'm super excited. Let's get to it. So, sake number 1. Very light, very fruity. Definitely like a nice, good junmai from Kitagawa Honke, the creators of Tomio, which is a pretty nice spring. Next up, we have Takara Shuzo. Their sake, this sake is called Subaru, and it's a Namachozo. So, Namachozo. So like this one was kind of like a berry fruity one with a lot of sugar, where this one is much more, it's drier, it's kind of melon. It's good. Next up, we have Gekkeikan. And Gekkeikan Kagetsu. It's another junmai. It's something like the first two. Should be pretty good. Oh, it's so racy. It's so racy. It's sweet, but it's so racy. Thank you. I'm getting so much more rice. Like rice and yeast. Like a yeast flavor. That's cool. I still think, right now, I like the Tomio the best. Let's find out. Next up is Tamano Hikari Shuzo Himane Kitsune Junmai Ginjo. Ooh, this is the first real ginjo that we're gonna have. Sweet. Oh, that's much drier. It has a nice ginjo con, but it's a lot drier compared to the first two. It's more. It has some rice notes. It has some like fruity notes, but it's quite dry. We're only 4 in. We got a lot more to go. Number 5, Saito Shuzo Eiku Koto Sennin. It's also a ginjo, junmai ginjo. See how that one is. That's a nice ginjo card. This is like classic ginjo. So like the first 3 had fruity notes, but they were kind of specific fruity notes. And then the Himane Kitsune was like a bittery, dry ginjo in that like very clean looking ginjo flavor. This is like, it's what you expect when you're thinking of ginjo. Where like these 3 are a little bit less so. And this one is, but this is dry, where this is kind of more full body ginjo. And then, I think the only niwari sake, we have the only niwari so far. So, here's this one, niwari from Masuda Tokubei Shoten, Tsukino Katsura, inventors of niwari. It's a junmai. I really like this. I had it last year. I'm excited to have it here now. You get that little bit of effervescence, and it's definitely super ricey. There's not a lot of like fruity aroma per se. There's some, certainly, but it's mostly rice effervescence, a little bit of that nice mouthfeel. I like it a lot. All right, that is the first round done. We've got 2 more to go, but I'm going to take a little break, have some food, drink some water, and when I start the second round, we'll be right back to that. So, round 2. I've had a little bit of my snack, and I think I'm ready to start on round 2. First one is Kyohime Shuzo Takuyu. It's a Dai Ginjo, our first Dai Ginjo of the evening, and it's made with Yamada Nishiki rice. So this is really, really similar to the Eikun Koto Senden, the Junmai Ginjo, where it's got a lot of that ginjoka, that banana, apple, like almost tropical fruits aroma and the flavor. No, so the Dai Ginjo, it's not sickly sweet in the mouth, but it has a refreshing sweetness to it. It's quite delicious. Second number 8 is Eiwa Shuzo's Keicho Hilban, which is a Junmai Ginjo. So we're into the Ginjo category. There's a fruitiness to it, but it's not like a fun thing to know about tasting sake is if you kind of find that your nose is not really identifying anything very clearly, you can just smell yourself. If you smell yourself, that kind of resets your sense of smell and can reset your palate and help you kind of figure out what's coming off the sake as it were. Overall, a little smoother and a little bit more ricey and rice-focused of a sake compared to the Takumi Dai Ginjo. And I definitely can see this pairing very nicely with fish or Japanese pickles and that kind of accompaniment to rice. Oh yeah, no, that's the level of body that I like. It's absolutely more full body than this Dai. It's absolutely more full body than the Koto Senden or the Kimura Kitsune. It's just more, there's more there. Next up is Higashiyama Shuzo Rosanjin Tokubetsu Junmai Genshu. This is going to be 9th sake of the evening, so we're halfway there with this guy. This is a Tokubetsu Junmai. It's a Genshu, so it's going to be a little bit higher alcohol, probably. They don't actually mention on this list what the alcohol, the ABV is. Genshu usually is a little bit higher than non-Genshu sake. Genshu means undiluted. So sake is usually brewed up to about 20% ABV and then dropped down using water to about 15 or 16%. And Genshu often is like 18% or so, but that's not always the case. Oh, that's way more woozy. It's good, but that's way more woozy. It's also super lactic-y, which is interesting. Sake does have a lactic acid fermentation stage. Lactic acid helps protect the yeast and the koji in the actual starter fermentation. But I would say that this has a lot of lactic acid that is bringing a nice sourness, but not a like citric-y sourness or a malic acid sourness, which you get mostly from actions with the yeast and the koji. This is the lactic acid that is really making that very interesting and nice. Pretty nicely with most food, especially kind of stronger flavored food. So like things that have been called in miso, or like a miso and just koji mixed with cucumbers, that kind of thing. Next up, we have Shotoku Shuzo Kagaku Kimoto Tokubetsu Junmai. Exciting. That's our first Kimoto of the evening as well. Kimoto is quite nice. It's one of the oldest styles of brewing sake. It was the main style that sake was brewed during the Edo period until the development of Yamahai and then Sokujo Moto. So it's very traditional now because most breweries are making Sokujo sake. There's another Tokubetsu Junmai. So it's a Junmai sake. It maybe meets the Ginjo classification, but they're not selling it as a Ginjo. Tokubetsu Junmai could be a lot of different things. Tokubetsu just means special. So they're doing something beyond just being a Junmai. This would really go good with whitefish or kind of the lighter foods for sure. I can see this pairing really well with like yuzu daikon or something like that. Those are really nice. Yamaimo is a very kind of gooey root, what it looks like. But I think this would go super nice with the yamaimo.
Like, hey, I may have erred. That was a little bit more wasabi than I was expecting. No, that kind of clears that out. Yeah. So next up we have Matsumoto Shuzo's Momo no Shizuku, a Junmai Ginjo. This is pretty sweet. This is pretty sweet and light. There's not a lot of body, but it definitely does hit you with a little bit of sweetness, and then you get kind of that alcohol bite that, for me at least, is a kind of almost is the same as capsaicin, and so it's a little bit spicy on the middle bits of the tongue, but there isn't necessarily a super strong aroma. I can see this going well with like a paella or like a tomato-based soupy pasta sauce, that kind of thing. I think it would be super nice with that. I would enjoy this, I think, with curry, or not like Indian curry, with like Japanese curry, so like navy curry, kind of a darker stewy thing. Actually, honestly, beef stew would probably go very nicely with this sake. It's just light enough to hold its own, but compared to kind of a rich, but also red wine-based stew or something like that. And then the final one of the sake that pairs well with food category is Jikoku. So we were on the Jikoku night earlier. So Jikoku is the name of this brewery. It's the brewery's name is Matsuyama Shuzo, but it's called Jikoku, and it's a Junmai Ginjo, and it's made with Iwai rice. Iwai rice is only grown in Kyoto Prefecture. It's maybe, I don't actually remember if it's a sake specific rice or not. I would have to look that up. But it's mostly used only by the breweries of Kyoto because it is a Kyoto-specific rice variety, and they're excited to promote the things that are grown in Kyoto. So this is going to be kind of terroir-y sake, or at least I'm hoping it's going to be terroir-y sake before I even try it. It's super sweet. Oh, it's very, very sweet. Yeah, this is gonna require something pretty salty. So like maybe tempura dipped in salt or karage. It's meant to stand up smooth riciness. You definitely can tell that this is a rice-based alcohol, but it's a little bit citrusy and like very clean. It sticks around a little bit. There's a little bit of a coating on the tongue, and it definitely is going to play nice with anything that's a little bit fatty. And that is sake number 12 done. We have 6 more to go. I think I'm going to make it. I think we're going to be okay. Hopefully, I'm not going to fall down or pass out on the street after my long walk and all of this sake. But we'll see.
So you may notice that after the 12 sake that I've already had, I sound remarkably nicer. That is actually because we forgot to turn on the mic. So we had the mic, but we forgot to hit the power button. Whoops. But at any rate, the mic is on now, and we've got our final set of 6 to try. So let's get started. We've got Kinshi Masamune's Ginkaku Aramusha as our first sake. So let's give it a try. So this is pretty aromatic. It's got a bit of fruitiness, a bit of that white blossom kind of floral sense to it, but it's really quite light. That's a very light sake. So there's not a lot of flavor that's like, wow, this is flavor, this is strong. It's very much kind of melt in the mouth, disappear quite quickly. And so you're enjoying the aroma and you're enjoying like the quick hit of flavor. But for the most part, it's really a sake that doesn't stick around very much in the mouth. Yeah, no, that's pretty nice. Next up, we have Joyo Shuzo's Joyo. Gyohyaku Mangoku is a type of rice. And then Junmai Daiginjo 40 probably means that it's been polished down to 40%. I don't know yet. We're going to have to try it. Joyo Shuzo. Okay, so that's a lot of ginjoka right there. It's very sweet. It's very kind of banana, apple, melon. Super ginjo-y, a little bit ricey on the tongue. This is a very like daiginjo-y daiginjo sake. It is not kind of pushing the boundaries of daiginjo, but it is a very nice daiginjo sake. The creaminess that is present in the sake is highlighting the other aromas and flavors rather than being like, this is lactic acid, bingo bango, you're drinking yogurt. Sake number 3, Yamamoto Honkei's Shinsei Nojun. There is Nothing on here to let me know what kind of sake this is, so we're going in a little bit blind. Smells super fresh. But I'm worried I'm smelling maybe like the soap they use to clean the glasses. Oh, that's super refreshing. So compared to like most of the sake that we've had, this has a lot more acidity. It's quite a bit brighter. This definitely is like one of the more sessionable sakes that we've had this evening. I would love to have this on like a barbecue night in the summertime. Maybe like with hot dogs or hamburgers even, not just Japanese barbecue yakiniku style. Next up, we have Toyosawa Honten's Hoshuku Shibori Tate Nama Genshu. So this is freshly pressed, it is unpasteurized, and it is undiluted. So this is probably going to have like a bit of a punch, all things considered. Let's give it a try. This is also super light. It is definitely ricey. It's definitely sake. It's definitely warmed up a little bit, but it's expressing itself in a really nice way. But it has kind of that grassiness that Shibori Tate sake has. I like it a lot. Second to last sake, penultimate sake, we have Miyakotsuru Shizo Gokukara Junmai. So this is pretty sake-y. I don't know about the polishing ratio, but it's a pretty sake-y sake. The aroma is really strong, actually, compared to how light it is in the mouth. Not a lot of body here. It's mostly water and alcohol flavor. There's not a lot of like anything strong going on. It's a very light sake. I think this would be a nice pairing sake. I'm not sure if I agree with putting it in the sake that you can enjoy all the time category versus the sake that pairs well with food category. I think you could pair this with food really easily. Very, very nice. But like a creamy cheese would be awesome. Last one, Kizakura Hana Shofu. It's a daiginjo. It's the last sake of the night. If I finish this, I will have completed all 18 breweries, all the breweries in Fushimi. Let's try Kizakura's Hana Shofu. Interesting. Very ginjo-y in the mouth. Very kind of mid-body range, I would say. I think is closer to the evening, to these 18 sakes. It's a pretty good sake. I would probably want this with like some pretty salty food or some pickles. I think it would go really nicely with like miso and cucumber, something like that. It's kind of closer to maybe these more aromatic sake on the front end, but it has a fuller body than many of those aromatic sake, so like it can hold its own with food, and it works pretty well as a standalone beverage. It's all 18 sake. We've had them all. I would say probably my favorite overall is probably, I really like the Koto Sennen. I really like the Premier Amour from Tomio, from Kitagawa Honke, and I really liked the Shinsei Nojun from Yamamoto Honke. Those are probably my favorites, but like, that's just me. That's my personal taste. That's me after walking 10 kilometers today in the hot sun. So yeah, well, it was delicious. We may go out to other places tonight, but that's kind of for me, not for you guys. You'll have to come to Japan if you want to enjoy that. So, closing out for this evening. Thank you for sticking with us. So we're at the first water of the day, the Goko Sui, which is at Goko Nomiya, a shrine to the slight east of maybe Fushimi proper. But I'm excited to try this water. I've got my ochoko that I carry around with me, so let's give it a shot. Whoa! Oh, it's very powerful. I mean, it's water. Like, I don't know. It's not very minerally. It's definitely very nice and cold. Super refreshing on today because unlike yesterday, we don't have a lot of cloud cover. It's 32 degrees Celsius and I am super sweaty. So I'm very pleased to have an opportunity to try this water, but it is definitely watery and wet and maybe a little less minerally. I'm gonna have to remember this flavor for the other ones that we're gonna see today. So now we are in the brewing district of Fushimi, and this is one of the many springs that still exist and are still used. This is called Shiragikusui, which literally means white chrysanthemum water. And unfortunately, this spring actually is no longer open to the public due to safety concerns about COVID and other things like that. So it's been closed since about 2020, but the water is still used by a couple of the brewers in the area to make sake. So we're now at the Sakamizu Spring, which is inside the Gekkekan Sake Brewery grounds. Gekkekan has actually been really nice to allow us to film here. Usually you're only allowed to take still photography of the museum on the grounds that is open to the public. This particular spring was dug up in the 1960s as a renewal of the previous spring that had kind of run dry a little bit. But I'm really curious to see how this water tastes. Let me get my ochoko. So let's see how this water is. So surprisingly, I can tell the difference compared to the water at Gokou-miya. This is a little bit sweeter and almost like more watery, if that makes sense. Like there's not a lot of minerality. It's very kind of sweet and smooth, which is very characteristic of Fushimizu, or the water in Fushimi, because of how the water kind of percolates down from the mountains and into the clay and granite soil that makes up the basin of Fushimi. Interesting. Yeah, that's really nice. Let's go on to the next one. So that wraps it up for our trip down from Sanjo to Fushimi. We've had a very nice experience walking in the hot, hot sun, but we got to try a bunch of great sake last night. We've got to try a bunch of water today, and we're gonna head back to Tokyo. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to get notifications about the next Sake on Air video. This video was made with the generous support of the Sake and Shochu Makers Association, located in Toranomon in the heart of Tokyo.